improving urban transport and mobility in Kenyan cities not only has economic benefits to the nation as a whole, but is also a key pillar in environmental protection.
You cannot delink the issue of transport and housing.
We will be reliable and available for all our customers.
We want to link this commuter rail system with also the bus rapid transit system.
These different BRT buses will have 8 routes to the different matatu terminals.
The launch of the modernized commuter rail service in Nairobi by President Uhuru Kenyatta signaled the journey towards a decongested city as commuters welcomed the move.
Nimepandia from a pipeline to this place. So it's so amazing because there's no traffic actually. It's saving us a lot and it's cheap. Yeah, and it's inside it's so amazing yani kupoa sana. We appreciate kabisa kazi ya train.
It is estimated that the value of time lost to travel in Nairobi, as an example, is between 80 million and 400 million shillings per month, with congestion costing the country about 50 million shillings daily.
Congestion in the city has not only adversely affected the growth of Kenya's economy, but it has also affected the environment.
Studies on climate change and environmental impacts indicate that the transport sector produces about 15% of Kenya's total greenhouse gas emissions, and that 39% of Kenya's total CO2 emissions are generated by road transport.
Improving urban transport and mobility in Kenyan cities is expected to bring economic benefits to the nation as a whole. It is also a key pillar in environmental protection and mitigating climate change.
The train system, which is clean, efficient, modern, it will save us in terms of pollution, which also affects the respiratory health of most people. But most important is that people will become a lot more productive. For Nairobi, we having grown to a city of about 7 million people. There is no way we are going to sustain the current situation of the conventional road transport, because it is not sustainable in terms of congestion.
An efficient, reliable and affordable transport system is achieved when various modes of transport are interlinked. Seoul City in South Korea is one of the cities in the world with an integrated system with rail and bus rapid transit contributing a great deal to decongesting the city.
When we started it, we identified 5 busiest corridors in terms of traffic. Most congested areas they identified, but in the form of corridors. But in Korea, it really depends on the land ownership and right of way. So in some cities, it's not really feasible. There are cities I have looked in, it's not feasible, but in Seoul, it was possible to secure right of way in the median part of the road. These are used exclusively by buses, and no other types of vehicles can use these lanes, median lanes. And there is a fine if you use this lane and if you are not driving a bus.
If you look at some of the very big cities globally, actually all cities globally, you will not find a city which does not have a rail system because it's the most efficient in terms of time, the safest in terms of transportation. And so if you look at, say, big cities like London, New York, Paris, they developed to be what they are because of the use of the rail system, commuter rail system within.
An efficient transport system is also a catalyst for the development of the housing sector.
Today, a lot of people want to come and stay very close to CBDs so that they can be able to reduce the number of hours they spend in traffic. But where we have land, and very good land for housing, is in that side. Athi River, there is plenty of land. Now, if you look at where we are negotiating right now with the investors to put almost 250,000 houses, you have both lines. You have both lines of SGR and meter gauge passing through there. So that means someone can live there, get onto a train, within 45 minutes you're in the CBD.
Urban mobility, therefore, is a key component of sustainable development.
Public transport, and why actually it is under our docket, is because you cannot delink the issue of transport and housing. They're all married together.
Most of our passengers rely on the matatus or buses, but this is going to make it easy for people staying within the Nairobi metropolis to get to the central station and from central station to their residential areas.
With the modernized rail service, the frequency of services is expected to increase gradually.
What has changed is that we have been doing commuter services, but at a very reduced rate. In other words, we have been having trains running in the morning and in the evening. But with the acquisition of the new DMUs, we can now afford to run the commuter services every hour from the central station and to the central station.
We are very well prepared to ensure that this project will be sustainable. We have our Railway Training Institute, and even from the history, this is the institute that has trained people working on the railways from Kenya to Uganda to the entire East African region. And so we have qualified people to train, an opportunity to train the young people, and to ensure that there will be people to man the trains.
The government is coming up with movement of people in large numbers, and also connecting these numbers is the BRT buses. What is the government doing? It is opening up and making sure that the main town is decongested and it is free for business operations.
The Nairobi Metropolitan Service, on the other hand, says it is keen to ensure there is seamless flow of services between the commuter rail as managed by Kenya Railways and the public motorized transport. As part of efforts to decongest the city, public transport vehicles will not be allowed in the central business district. They will be dropping and picking passengers at designated bus terminals and termini. The dropping points include Green Park, that is situated next to Railway Club, Riverfront near Globe Cinema Roundabout, Landis Road, Desai Road and Park Road.
These different BRT buses will have 8 routes to the different matatu terminals. Now the different matatu routes will now operate from those terminals to their destination the same way they've been operating in those various routes. So this is one way which will greatly reduce traffic jam.
Then there is the Nairobi Expressway, yet another critical artery in decongesting the city.
If you look at the traffic coming from the east, meaning Machakos, and the traffic going to the west, towards the Rift Valley, they get clogged up within the city of Nairobi. And what we realized is that what we required is not just a road within the city, but a road from the city, outside the city, into the city, and outside the city. So this express highway, whereas the main trunk is from Mlolongo into Jomo Kenyatta Airport, into all the way to Westlands, we have reconfigured it so that from Mlolongo, we are extending a dual carriage all the way to Machakos turnoff, all the way to Machakos. And then when it gets to Westlands, James Gishuru.
As we wind up, President Kenyatta is assuring Kenyans that the new developments have wider economic benefits, including job creation and ease of doing business.
Hii shughuli itawezesha Wakenya kufanya biashara kwa njia rahisi, kutembea kwa njia rahisi, na nataka niwahakikishie wote ambao wako katika sekta hii ya transport wasione ya kwamba kuna kazi ambaye mtu yeyote anatolewa. Tunataka kuona vile Kenya Railways watafanya kazi na sako zetu za matatu. Hatutaki mtu yeyote akose kazi. Ni kusaidiana, tunasaidiana, ni kushughulikia mambo haya tukiwa kitu kimoja, na tuhakikishe ya kwamba tumeweza kupatia wananchi wetu huduma bora, huduma ya kisasa na huduma ambayo itarahisisha biashara zao.